Hi, collective. So, guess what? This energy that is coming through this 111 portal today is so beautiful. And let me explain why. Like, you might not be feeling it yet because, or like what's coming in, like, you might not be seeing it yet because literally the cycles that you have just went through, these purging cycles, these cycles of feeling isolation, left out, abandonment, just all of those things that we've been purging out are literally closing out with this Cancer full moon. We're within 48 hours of this full moon and the energy is already coming in. This portal is literally like sucking it out in a way, like it's being like pushed out as this new energy is coming in, right? So that is why we're feeling this hype of this energy of like trying of like I'm hearing it's like the enemy's cries, right? Like the enemies, okay, the dark forces, all of those things, like they're trying to do everything and create the most chaos and the most noise. You know, it's because it's scared, because it knows that it's being like removed from your life. And for some of you, that's why you're experiencing so much of this back and forth energy, because they're projecting so much like black magic, spell work. So many are trying binding spells, rituals, all sorts of things at this time. Like I've been having to go through so much like of cord clearing to spiritual baths to sound healing to so much, and it's like I keep having to do these things. So maybe for some of you, you're feeling as though that you're needing to, I mean, every situation is different depending on how intense, but I literally have had so many people trying to bind stuff like crazy to me at this time. And it's like when they find out that, like, if they've been coming back trying to like get in your energy, trying to talk to you, trying to like be nice and woo you back, and that's not working, then they're going to try the other way where they're trying to get forceful, right? And fighting and arguing and things like that. And then if that's not working, then they're going to be coming back, and it's going to be like, it's going to be the next stage I'm getting is like they're going to expose what they've done, okay, to try to like get your forgiveness that way, but silently get to you, right? Because you know, like sometimes like it's, you know how it sets you free when sometimes like you have so much love for somebody and they hurt you, but then when you find out what they really did, or you find out things, you know, through discovery, okay, things being revealed, you're like, oh, well, they did all of that, like, yeah, I can let them go now. But see, there's this energy where you have to be careful to not like want revenge, okay, that you don't want to basically see them. And revenge could look like you just wanting them to get their karma, because by you doing that, you're keeping that bind, right? You're giving them energy, so you're keeping them attached, and you're actually stopping them from getting their karma. Okay, because for some of you, like, you have no idea the lengths that some of these individuals went to, okay, some of the things that they did, okay, where they were like, everything that they've been projecting and doing to you, whether you're aware of it or not, is going back to them. Like, this is the time where everything is going reverse to sender, everything's getting flipped, and they know it because they've been starting to see their karma. So for some, it's like they want to get in your energy to get that protection, to try to stop their karma. So they're going to try at all costs, right? Because for some, like, let's be honest, they're not going to make it. Because for some, they've been doing death magic, they've wished all these ill things on you. So literally, like, they know that that's coming back, and because it's coming back as a backfire or misfire, like, it's going to hit way more intensely. And like for some, it's like it's meant for them to see what in fact they were projecting. So it's like what they were projecting to you doesn't always go after or go back right to them. It's going to go to like their loved ones, their family. So it's like they're actually witnessing the karma that they were, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even like to get into everything, but it's like, so for some, it's like they're not going to be able to handle seeing the backfire, the misfire. So a lot of them, they're doing everything at all costs, right? And okay, so I'm not going to get into how the karma goes back and things like that, but for you need to know that, because for some of you, like, you're being protected of this too. That's why you also have that protection, or they have protection from getting their karma while they're still connected with you, because it's for your protection. Because you have the ability to stop the karma, basically. And for some of you, like, you're going to feel as though it's not fair, or you're going to feel bad, or you're going to feel, or it's going to stop you. You know what I mean? It's not going to work in the way it should, but it has to, because you don't mess around, especially the chosen, the 144, the earth angels that are here, that have had all of these people siphoning their energy and using, and a hard thing that I've been having to sit with too is, it's like, because I very much see the potential in everybody, and I know that for some they're unconsciously aware of what they're doing. Like for some of these, like word witches, okay, black or warlocks, things like that. For some, they don't even realize that they're doing it, because they don't even realize the energy that they're messing with, because they're so uneducated that they just don't even understand that they're even dabbling in magic. They don't even realize that they are casting spells, that everything that you project out is a form of creation, and when you're putting that towards a chosen one, things like it goes back. So it's like, that's where I've had some compassion for people in the past, because I'm like, oh, but they didn't know that they were doing that. Yes, the enemy attacked them because of woundings that they had, so they were unaware of what they were saying. But dear, you need to understand that if they weren't at a lower, they weren't at a lower state of, if they didn't have these woundings, they wouldn't have been subjectable to that. But you need to know that we in 2025 now, okay, this isn't first incarnations, right? This is literally on a soul level, and for some, these were like their final tests. For some, like the earth angels chosen, like, you need to know that, like, you were literally sent in as like a final test, as like God's judgment. You were like judgment for God to approach them to see how they would be. You were in fact showing a reflection of them, because that's your protection. You were a reflection, so they fully couldn't see you in your energy. And they were being tested, and they got to pick to either heal that trauma. This, for some, this was like their final time to heal their trauma. To heal their trauma, and to accept the blessing, right? It was like the saving, right? That's what I mean. I've been saying, like, y'all, like, we've been under judgment for such a long time, and some of these people were still doing these things, like, while being under judgment. So you need to realize that it's like, no, and for some of you, like, you call judgment on these individuals. You literally, for some of you, this was like the Most High speaking through you, calling judgment on them, and they still didn't want to listen and didn't want to do it. So that's what I mean. Like, you need to understand, like, the karma that's coming down, even though they went up against you, it was really them going up against Most High. And that's why, do my prophets no harm. Do not touch the anointed child. Like, you don't know, like, that's why nobody knew who the chosen were going to be. And that's why they are often cloaked. And people misinterpret them a lot, because they think that, oh, they're going to be these holy angel individuals. No, they're going to be ones that have been through the most. All the chosen ones have dealt with addictions and homelessness and things like that, but they came out of it. Those are the people that came out of it. That's what you don't realize. People think that, oh, the chosen, the 144, God's angels, they're going to be the ones. No, they're often the ones that are homeless in the streets, that people are walking by, passing judgment and not helping. They're the ones that we have been trying to transmute this dark energy. I heard the most beautiful thing yesterday, like bearing the cross, as Jesus was bearing the cross, or carrying like the cross, right? Like that, like, we all go through that, right? So when you were going through the most amount of things in your life, you were judging the most amount, like, you were calling judgment on, like, all of the people around you. Like, it goes so more than just these personal connections. Like, you don't even know. Most High was heavily watching his earth angels, his 144,000, and how everybody involved was acting. So a lot of these people are starting to see that now, because it's like, now the veil's being lifted. Now they're being shown, because the chosen are rising, okay? So you need to know, this is not your time. This is not between you to lessen these people's karma. Like, it's judgment. I can't even explain what's to come, but that's why you need to know. And like, your final thing was, sorry, I'm trying to slow this energy down. We are in this portal time, so this energy is coming through intense, right? So You need to know, for some of you, literally, it's like, you remember my earth angels, 144,000. Your eyes give protection. When people are within your vicinity, your energy, whether you're looking at them, it could be physically. That's why some of these people could be going to extremes to get to you physically. Or it could be through social media, okay? Anything. Even just you thinking about them, they have a form of protection, okay? Because it's like having an angel having their eyes on you. So for some of you, when you fully look away, and that's you pulling your energy fully back, like for some of you, like you're their last line of defense. You're their last form of protection that they have. When you fully pull back your energy and you're no longer looking at their social medias, you're no longer engaging in conversations, you fully pull your energy back, does the karma fully set in? And for some of you, like that is your protection, because it's not meant for you to see the karma that's going to go down, for you to feel hurt and you know what I mean, and have that come back on you. Because there's some of you, like, even though you may feel as though you want revenge because you've been finding out what in fact some of them have been doing, and literally I get it now. I get why there needed to be so much exposure, because there's some of you, like, you need to know that, because there's some of you, like, you are going to see some of this karma, or you're going to hear about it, and it's going to be free to be like, you're going to understand why, because you're going to be, yep, well, they were okay, they went and did all, you know what I mean? Like for some of you, like if you ever had that, I'm sure everybody here, you've witnessed someone get their karma, and when you fully do, and it's something that's like devastating, right? And, you know, you feel that because we have that unconditional love, but you need to understand at this time, like you need to focus on you at this time. You're no longer giving them love, like the time is up for, there's no more tests, there's no more chances for them and to fix things with you. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Because I'm going to be careful, because I know a lot of cross watchers and stuff, and really your ultimate judgment is between you and Most High. But for some, they're being forced, they're starting to realize that they're getting everything that they in fact projected, right? Some people are really starting to sit with their souls, right? And realizing everything that they were doing to others. Like, so this message is going out, like, you need to be careful that you're not interfering with things, okay? You need to pull back your energy. You need to trust what you feel. That's why a lot of the chosen, the 144, are being isolated at this time. Because for some of you, like, these attacks are people trying to get in your energy. Like, there's so much. For some of you, it's so many. Because as these things are being revealed, like, oh my gosh, they were. Oh my gosh, they like. But they can't have access to you anymore. That's why for a lot of you, you're being called to move and things like that, and to be very careful of your energy, because they're trying the most to try to stop, right? But you need to understand, for a lot, it's not even that they even feel bad, or they feel bad for what they done, because they know that karma's coming for them. Do you see what I mean? And maybe this is a part of the judgment too, and this is a part for the Most High to be able to judge. Are they really sincerely, are they coming to me? Are they really repenting at this time and asking for forgiveness sincerely for all the things that they've done? Or is it literally because they just don't want the karma coming down? So for some, like, you need to let them go through that judgment. You could be stopping them from experiencing that judgment fully, because they're getting that protection under you, or by being in your energy. So if for some of you, like, if these connections are recent, or you have a lot of love and things like that, you need to kind of know that by you fully pulling your energy off, you're allowing them to have their final judgment, instead of it just being missed and them being, because let's just say that needs to happen. And for some of you, you need to know it's to your protection. If you ever had that energy, like, don't look back. Like, I've literally been told, like, there's sometimes, like, I want to check and I want to be like, oh, let me just see if they're okay. And then I'm just like, nope, don't look. And have you ever done that, and you go and look, and you're just like, oh my gosh, why did I don't want it. And for some of you, like, you have no idea the amount, because for some, it's like they were, especially the ones that were trying to, like, destiny swap, or trying to, like, sacrifice your soul, like, Like for some of them, like they've sold their souls, okay? And let's just say the collector is coming for their souls, right? So do you really want, you know what I mean, to see what? No, you don't want to engage in that energy, right? This is like the shift, the divide, right? Like this needs to happen, okay? So it's really important for you to focus on you, heal your heart. Whenever you're starting to feel the thoughts, just let them go. Like every time like my ex starts to come in me, I'm like, I love my children, I love it. I start to think about, I take that energy and I'm like, I love my children. Like I focus on my daughter and I pour the love, and I take what, like, nope, my daughter is more important than, you know what I mean? And I just, or the love towards yourself, or, you know, turn it into something, especially if it's like you, because for some it's like, for some literally, like I'm getting, it's not for everybody, like they're scream, like for some they're getting very mad, they're like screaming out and they're trying to project that energy toward you, like they're screaming out like things towards you to try to get, to send that energy to you, to try to get you to turn around, to look at them again, to, so it could be very intense, right? And remember, like, and even spell work, black magic, all this binding stuff, it only works if you give it power. Like a lot of times you get aware of it and you get told it and shown it and things like that, but it's literally, it's happening for you to be, it's because maybe there's still some sort of energetic tie if it's reaching you. So it's just allowing you to do some sort of healing or releasing. Okay, but it's really teaching you about boundaries and things like that. So be careful of people coming in, confessing, and things like that. And literally, if some people like get in there, like force themselves into your energy and things like that, you know, it doesn't mean you have to allow them to confess, because you can tell them that, you know, they need to go to Most High. Okay, call in your angels for protection and guidance on moving forward. I'm getting for some of you, you really need to trust what you're feeling at this time, because there's some of you, like, you're going to get all right, this isn't for everybody where this is going. I feel like this just went left or down or whatever. Like, okay, so for some of you, it's like some are just so enraged by the karma, especially like some are so like, oh my gosh, this is going dark. The rest of this is not for everybody. You need to know that. Okay, so maybe you were just here for the first part of the message. I feel like I'm getting into a warning now. Okay, for some of you, like, you're gonna know if you're dealing with this specific individual. There's already been signs, or you have already felt this, okay, that you're dealing with somebody that they're just getting more enraged by their karma. For some, it's like they're seeing these backfires and they don't even, like, they're like, I'm dealing with like a sociopath, like they're so dark, it's like they don't care. Like they're like, you know what, I've already lost my soul. Like they just, I don't even know how to explain this. Like it's like they want to take you out, basically. They were like, no, there's no way that you're going to get your just, like, you're not going to go. I'm getting like Fatal Attraction vibes, like strong, heavy. Like they literally, like, they know they're not going to sit with their karma. They don't want to experience the backfires, and I feel they're already coming, and that's what's enraging them. For some, it's like they could think that you're doing this at them as a form of like your revenge. Is like, for some of, like, they've lost their spiritual gifts for attacking you and coming against you, as the Most High has been stripping these individuals that were abusing their powers, right? Okay, and their gifts, so they're completely disconnected. And it's like, then they see you leveling up. And for a lot of you, you've gotten stronger because you've reclaimed your power and your energy. So now you have full access to your gifts. But it's like, they think that you now have, well, for some of you, you did get access to their gifts. Because for some of like the transference that needed to happen, for some of you, like, you did get stronger gifts and you did get things off of them. That was part. So, but it wasn't you doing it. Like, Most High took one. It's like, for some, that's part of the package. Like, you got some of like their gifts and what was for them, but it's like, you didn't go and do the magic and, you know what I mean, and bring it back to you. It was part of it. So for some, it's like, they see you leveling up, and they know that they don't have this access to you. They don't have their spiritual gifts to be able to use. So they think that just you stole it, and it's like, nope, I'm going to get it back at all costs. Like, some are just so enraged, like, they just don't care. They don't care to try to retrieve their soul. They don't care. They're literally just, I don't want to give this far. I'm just saying, okay. So for some of you, I'm getting like the Trojan horse. Like, you need to be careful because they know that they know that you're heavily protected. And that's why for a lot of them, they're realizing, in fact, that you are chosen 144,000 Earth Angel because of your protection. Because the fact that they've lost their gifts, they know that because of what they did to you, they lost their gifts. So now they want to attack you. But they know that they can't come at you in a way that Most High would see because you're protected, because they've been trying to come at you. And maybe they know every single thing that they fire at you is coming right back at them. So they're coming up with this Trojan horse, right? And I don't know if some of you, and I've been seeing it heavy. I've been even seeing wooden horses and things like that. Like, it's been coming out heavy. If you guys know the story behind the Trojan horse, like, I don't really fully know the story, but I guess like they made this gift, right? And they hid inside the Trojan, inside the horse, right? And they thought that it was a gift of like a peace offering or whatever, but there were soldiers within the horse that came out and attacked, right? It was like a hidden. So there's this energy, like, for some, like, they're trying to hide something, but it's literally like an attack. But you don't think that Most High is aware of this? That's what I mean. They can try to cloak their energy and all of that because they're really trying to test the Most High at this time. That's why I said for some of you, like, you need to know this isn't even like literally between you and them anymore. This is literally straight up like the darkest forces against the light this time. And it's like you're just like caught in the middle of it. But you need to know you're heavily protected, but you have to listen to your protection. So, like, there's been times I've literally heard, like, my angels, like, yell at me. I haven't often heard that, but I've been hearing this, like, it's happened a couple times leading up to it where I've literally been, like, I've heard them get loud, like, I literally heard one of them, like, sit down, shut up, right now. And when I heard that, I sat down and I shut up, because I was like, okay. And, like, I was just like, why did I hear it like that? So you won't miss when divine is trying to guide. There's been times I've heard, I remember once when, I'm going to bring this up. Okay, so I was like, this was like before my spiritual gifts, where was I even into the tarot? It was before I even got into the tarot really and started connecting. So it was before I even spiritually, but I always knew that the angels were with me and talking to me, but it was always like a soft voice, whatever. Well, anyway, so I used to be a smoker. I've quit now, or it's been like, I don't know, I feel all this is significant, right? Like, I haven't smoked cigarettes and like, well, my daughter is 6. That was before I was pregnant with her 7 years. So yeah, it's been 7 years, right? Anyway, so I used to be a smoker, right? So I was, I had just lost my home or whatever, and I was staying in hotels. It's funny, and yeah, sounds about right. 7 years later, here I am again. Lost my home, right, and living in hotels, motels, whatever. But anyway, so getting off track. 7 years ago, okay, I remember it was the middle of the night and I wanted to have a cigarette, so I slipped outside or whatever. And I like to stargaze and look at the stars and all that. So I went walking and I was on the bottom floor, right? It was a really, really big hotel. Like I was in the back of it because it went really, really deep, right? And at night it gets really dark, just trees everywhere, whatever. But I was stargazing and I was looking around. And then all of a sudden I heard this guy yell. And he was like, "Hey, beautiful, come here." And I remember all of a sudden I felt like my heart dropped into my stomach. And I'm used to people just saying, "Hey, hi, whatever." You know, and hotels, like, they're kind of busy at night. There's a lot of people. It's not just like it's all quiet. But this night it was. Like, it was really quiet and it was really eerie. Like, I remember getting the feeling upon going out there. And I don't like to smoke by people's, you know, rooms and doors and stuff. So I went walking a little bit. And anyway, when I heard that and I felt my heart drop into my stomach, and that was me feeling like the fear, right? And then immediately I heard my angels yell, "Run." And I was like, "The fuck?" Like, run, like this guy. And then all of a sudden the guy started running at me. And then behind him was a couple of other guys. So I started running, right? And then I heard upstairs, like my eyes looked right at the stairs. Now, mind you, like they were on the other side around the corner. Like they had walked around the corner and they seen me. So to get to my room, like I would have had to run at them, right? So anyway, when I heard run and I started running ahead of me, and then there were stairs, right? And, you know, I'm a smoker. I was a bit heavier then too. I'm running from these guys running at me, right? And in the stairs, and then I heard them yell, "Upstairs now." And I was like, "The fuck, upstairs?" I'm running from them. Like, I could have ran around the building back to my room, right? And I remember thinking that, but I was like, "No, I heard upstairs." And I'm like, "Oh my God," so you know how hard it is, like when you're running upstairs, and I was already getting tired, but I ran up the stairs, right? And then I heard right. So I ran right around the corner, and they were running up the stairs after me. And literally when I round the corner, this lady had just walked right outside her room, and I literally ran like right next to her, and I just stopped, and she stood there, and she seen the men running after me. And then when they seen this woman, they immediately ran the other way. Isn't that crazy? But do you see what happened? They led me up the stairs to run into another individual to save me. Now, these men were drinking and partying and loud. A group of guys, what were they trying to do? Running after a girl in the middle of the night. Could you imagine if they would have gotten a hold of me and would have drugged me back to their room? But that's what I mean. And like, if I would have just went against what I was feeling, and they were a group of guys, like they were rounding the corner. I didn't even think at that time, like I wanted to just run around the building and go back to my room. So, and I figured they would have all been chasing me, but think about it. If they were already rounding the corner, I probably would have ran into some of the other guys running around the corner. So so at this point, like not trusting, I trusted what I heard, what was loud to me. And I wouldn't have thought in the moment, I'm running from these guys, let me run up some stairs where I'm going to get, and I was tripping up the stairs and stuff too, right? But I ran, and I wouldn't even think like to run toward, like this was running away from the office even. But now I think about like the office, they used to lock the door after like midnight or whatever. Anyway, so see, if I would have just trusted what I would have felt, I would have ran into traps. So because I listened to the angels and because I felt that too, like I knew this was serious, what I heard or whatever. It's significant for somebody. Like you will be guided, right? And you won't know, like, you know what I mean? Like people will come, things will happen. So you have to trust what you feel. But I remember that was like the first time like I heard my angels loud that night, right? And there's been a couple. That's why I've never forgotten that time. That was the first time in my life that has ever happened, where I heard them loud. But I knew right away, like, let's just say like, and then I didn't go out by myself ever again, like at night and go things like that. Like, and I've learned this lifestyle, needing to be careful and stuff. And that is something I've had to overcome. Like, it even gave me a trauma a little bit where I was scared to like go get ice and things like that by myself after that incident. But maybe it was, anyway. What I'm getting at is that I wanted to get out the message about how loud my angels were, like, and I knew that they protected me or whatever. And so You will be guided. They will be very loud. They will guide you out of situations. Like I said, this isn't for everybody, but for some of you, like literally, like, so if somebody like tries to infiltrate or come in, like you, even if they find a way past some sort of protection, or maybe you put yourself, like, remember, like I told you, I got an eerie feeling. It was really quiet, but I went against it and I went walking away from my room anyway. And I still got guided by the angels out of a situation. So for some of you, like, even if you feel like you miss, like, you will, as long as you're listening, right? Okay. So for some of you, like say you get the feeling like, oh my gosh, like this is escalating, like I need to call the cops, but you don't, right? And then all of a sudden you hear your angels, run outside now. You better listen and go do that, because then they can align you with somebody else. Do you know what I mean? Because I know there's been times where I've wanted to call the cops and I haven't. And things have escalated, and there's, and you get around people a lot of times, the enemy will get scared back, because then there's witness. You know what I mean? People feel so much more tough when they have you alone and things like that. But it's one of those, like, and they're bringing me back to one of these things too. Like, they were actually entrapping some people. There was things where I was reading about where they were doing it like in broad daylight, like where they were going after children, is because children get scared and they run. So for some, it's like, I don't remember where this was. It was like a mall or something where this had happened to a girl, and then it came out where they were targeting, where it's like they would scare a child or somebody by letting them know that they were going to attack them, even in a public place, just to get them to like run and to get to their car and flee, and then they would go chase them down because they fled. So I'm working. So there's this energy, like, so for some of you, like, you need to know not to like don't run, like, and put yourself in an isolated situation. Like, how many movies have you seen that too, where like then they're running from somebody and they're, you know what I mean, instead of like going, I'm working, and no, instead of going to others, like, to getting help. So you need to know that, right? Like, always like try to go to somebody. Like, don't try to like isolate yourself. Like, don't think, oh, I can run to my room and lock the door, I'm safe in my, like, unless that's all you can do. But it'd be much better if like you could run to, like, you know what I mean, a neighbor's house, somebody, you know what I mean. See, I'm getting this energy, like, so somebody is definitely like trying to come in. So trust what you feel, because like I said, it's not all going to be that intense, but I felt to explain that story for somebody. Okay, but there's this energy I see in 32:22 on the clock. Does it say that? So for some of you, it's like the Trojan horse, like they're trying to come in with some sort of like offering or gift, or it's in this disguise, and it might not look like a gift coming in. It could literally be like somebody's like, let me do something nice for you, let me take you somewhere, but they could be trying to isolate you, or guiding you somewhere, or guiding you into a dangerous situation where there's going to be others. Maybe that's why I talked about the guys, right? Maybe that were coming after that, you know what I mean, that I could have been routed back around to where others were. So for some of you, like, they could like try to come in and offer you something, or like want to bring you somewhere, but it could be a trap to bring you somewhere else or something. So be careful of entrapment, basically. So that could be like the Trojan horse thing, where they could be bringing you somewhere where there's hidden enemies. Okay, so trust what you feel. Like, if you feel that, no, that's not a good idea, I'm not going to go with you, you know what I mean. So they're trying like that. So just, that's why I feel that you're going to be protected as long as you trust, because I feel your angels are heavily protecting you with what they can do. There's a lot that's like, everything that's being projected your way and all of this stuff is all being blocked, right? Because they are blocking from the spiritual. But in the physical realm, the 3D realm, like your intuition is on point. Like, they can't get to your intuition right now. They can't get to your mind right now, is what I feel. Because if you're connected, right? It's not like I don't feel there's this spell work on your mind where your intuition is not connecting, all right? I feel that heavily protected. Turn this down, please. That's why if you trust what you're feeling at this time, you won't be guided into those traps, okay? And you know, and it's like, if they even plan something, like say they got like a gun, right? And they come into your house, you know what I mean? Like, Most High is going to see that before it happens, and they're not going to make it to you, right? That's where, like, I don't know, car accident, whatever, like, they won't make it to you. That's why I said, for some of you, you don't even know the things that you're being protected by. For some, maybe they've even tried to do that, so they realize, like, gosh, I can't even approach them to hurt them right now because I'm getting stopped. So I feel like the only way that they're even able to, like, come at you, where it's like where they're trying to disguise a plan, like, they're really testing the waters right now. So the only way I feel that they're even able to come in is like by setting some form of trap. But if you're heavily connected and you're listening and you're trusting your intuition, that you'll be guided out of it. Okay? So with that being said, trust that. Like, for some of you, literally, like, if you're being called to move, okay, and you're going against that, it's those little things. Like, you've got to trust what you feel at this time. Okay? Like, just, you don't be going around thinking that I'm untouchable. Like, I learned, that's why I got attacked like I did. Is I was like, Most High's got me, you can't touch me. So be mindful, right? If, like, Most High, especially, like, if Most High has removed people from your physical space, remove people out, do not let them back in, because that's another thing. For some, like, Most Highs literally remove people, like, literally, like, y'all, like, the last incident that happened, like, I was really scared because I've had to bounce a couple places. I've been bounced out because of calling for help, which is sad. I've had to call for help in the past, and I've lost places where literally, like, there was one where it's like within an hour, like, I was lucky I got him to wait till the next day, but like within an hour, like, you gotta up and get out. When you pay up for the week and things like that, and then when we got booked up during spring break, and then now with these hurricanes and so many people are living in hotels and motels, like, it took me like 2 months just to get into an extended stay so I could have like a kitchen, right? Like, it's crazy, like, how full up they are. That so it's been this where like, anyway, I'm getting off track. Like, so I didn't want to call for help, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to risk, because it's like they don't like police and things like that at establishments. So for some, it's like you call or whatever, like, you're out. So because of that, like, I really didn't want to call, right? But I had to call for help, right? And they automatically reported it, right? And I was like, no, please don't. I don't want to get kicked out, right? And it was like, nope, literally, like, nope, it's out of your hands. Like, no, there's going to be a whole investigation now because what happened. Like, no, we can't look the other way, miss. Like, they had to go and do that. So, and at the time, I remember nothing happened. They're like, don't worry, we will talk to the office. Like, you're the victim. Like, they are not going to kick you and your daughter out. Like, no, but it's not going to happen, right? So I was like, all right. And but I remember I was like, oh my gosh, like, these are earth angels. This is like earth, like official earth angels. You know what I mean? Like, earth angels, like, because they were so sweet, and like, they were some of the most compassionate, like, law enforcement. Like, there's in some where they have to come off like aggressive, things like that, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? And they play, and they're very good at like taking both sides, right? Like, why did this happen? What led to this? Whatever. But it was such a different experience, right? And normally, like, whenever I've had like encounters and stuff, I'm like, I gotta sage myself. I gotta like clear this energy. But it was like, it was such a different feeling. And I remember thinking, like, oh my gosh, like, they were dispatched out for a reason. Like, I felt like, and anyway, like, they went and like, my ex had 24 hours. Like, he was told, like, literally, like, you have to go with law enforcement in the next 24 hours. Like, go now, get the rest of your stuff, get out, don't ever go back. Like, literally, like, so it was like they orchestrated the removal, right? Like, I didn't even have to handle it. It was one of those things where I was just like, wow, all of this is being like handled for me. Like, okay, so divine, like, things like that happen. Like, you don't even do stuff. Like, that was like, I knew that was divine intervention for me, right? And the fact that happened that way, like, you see what I mean? Like, when people have been legitimately like remove, like divine intervention, like move. Don't let those people back in, because that was like your divine protection removing from your energy. So for some, it's like, trust what you feel. You know, like, I know I'm protected now. I know that I'm safe. I know that I will never be hurt again by this individual, right? That I'm safe, right? As long as I don't let him in my space. So trust what you feel at this time, right? Okay, because for some, they don't even realize that the entity is like, for some, it's like these entities have taken over. Like, they're fully being run by an entity. They're not even like your person anymore. So you need to protect yourself, because like I said, this is... Okay. I know that this went long, right? Because I was trying to explain my story and like, because I know it's going to help somebody, right? So... Okay. All right. So hopefully, like, don't give in, but don't have fear. Know that, you know, if you don't know what to do, to like ask your angels, things like that. All right. There. Love and light to all of you. Bye.